welcome back to No Cap Space. The WNBA draft lottery has just concluded. We have our order, and somehow, once again, the Dallas Wings have won. They have gotten away with it again. They have lost so much that they have won yet again. Oh my goodness. Oh, I can already feel the joy radiating off of Shawnee right now. But before we get into it, you can use code NOCAP15, get 15% off your first home field purchase. Link in the description below. It's college season. You got to get right. A super chat. Get your message on the stage as we go through this entire draft lottery, all the results, who we think could go where, all of those things. And of course, we have already, I'm seeing our Discord popping right now as we get these results. We've already had a couple upsets today in college basketball that have been discussed in the Discord. You become a YouTube member, you get access to that. You can come and chat with us and have a good time. Where to begin? I think I know where we have to begin. To the lead professor of Dallas Wings University. Hey, Shawnee.
Professor Emeritus.
Come on. Hi, Shawnee. How are you today?
As well as the provost, as well as the VP of Alumni Foundations, this sends a horrible message to America. It says that if you are just incompetent beyond reproach, that you too can be rewarded for that. And it just shouldn't be, because I've been watching the Wings get number one picks, lottery picks, for a large portion of my adult life, and then we're still here in the lottery, and nobody is gonna question that. Hey, why did we get Charlie Collier and Paige and this upcoming? And how did we get Liz Cambage? You got to go all the way back. So instead of asking, hey, how did we keep getting to this point where we're in the lottery? Is Greg Bibb actually doing his job? He's going to keep getting credited for getting Paige and Liz Cambage and whoever's in this next one. And we're going to completely ignore the fact that there's been no plan. There has been literally no plan. He just happened to stumble. Sam Presti was trust the process. Sam said, we're going to fail with purpose. We're going to fail into greatness, and it resulted in a championship. So am I saying that that can't happen in Dallas? Yes. It's not going to happen in Dallas. These are not the same things. And I just, whatever Cheryl Reeve did, whoever Cheryl Reeve aggrieved, you got to atone for that, sister. Because come on, dog. You get robbed in the finals. You get, robbed again in the semifinals. You get robbed in the draft lottery. Bruh, come on. It's starting to get wicked. And he can't keep getting away with this, but he will. I'm still seeing, it's etched in my mind, how they were giving him A's for the draft lottery the other year and the year after that. And I'm like, what is he getting A's for? Because again, guys, I keep telling this story. 2020, I'm on that call and I'm asking, are you guys trying to rebuild, have a full youth movement, or what's the plan? And he was just go Wings. And I was just thank you, Gregory. Okay.
Hell yeah.
And here we are 5 years later. Are we rebuilding through the draft? Are you still Arike centric? Does the dynasty start with after her?
About to find out.
That's I mean, yes, because that's what is so very interesting about this pick now. And girl, I'll kind of toss over to you because help is on the way for Paige Bueckers. There had been so many comps about obviously Caitlin versus Paige, and I think the big thing that I had always kind of talked about was that well, okay, that's not really what I was getting at directly. But what the thing I'd been getting at was that Paige was the first pick of this. Caitlin was the second. You had Aaliyah there already. Now it's the reverse of the
He's also an MVP candidate, right?
Yeah, for sure. 100%.
Charlie Collier was already first.
Okay. But Greer, I ask you, I lobbed that up to ask you. Look, Izzy Fudd's hooping, and in terms of figuring out who, obviously, in theory, you would, especially like looking at the Dallas roster right now, because Arike is still on this roster. Getting a big makes more sense. Like, just I feel like on paper to a degree, but that's what I'm kind of getting at. Like, I think your initial thought would be our fam, Lauren Betts, one of those, wherever you kind of lean. Where are you thinking? As you mentioned the sorter, because I do think that there is that kind of pause there with it.
Well, I think it's been telling that when the Wings front office was making their rounds around Europe this offseason, they went to go check on a player like Wnba, Luisa Geisel-Soter. This is also a team who traded to Mekwit, like some draft capital, right, for Lee Giroux, right? Toward the beginning of last season. So they don't have a lack of like talented bigs, but is it that one that you're pairing with Paige, right? Wnba, if I'm remember correctly, was drafted second after Charlie Collier.
Yeah, same draft.
Right. And so she opted not to play in the WNBA last year, but
and why was that?
It went well for her. She's not associated with
only 24 years old as well. Like,
yeah.
So
also, I believe is playing very well right now over in Europe right now.
Yeah, last game was you see a week ago, 21 points, 6 rebounds versus Belgium in Eurobasket.
Free her.
So playing well. And obviously you're going over there to touch base with the people that you have rights to, right? We also have to see what happens and shakes out with the draft lottery. But if you're Dallas, like maybe I hear you, Shawnee, and like the why do they kind of keep being spoiled in this way? But this is probably like the first time where it's like you can't go wrong with either pick in Iowa fam or Azzi Fudd.
I do. Okay, and that's interesting because I disagree. I think there's the fit answer, and then I think there's the fun answer. Like
I know Azzi seems fun, but I also think fit wise, it does work. They haven't played a ton together. We know that during their careers at UConn, like unfortunately, it just didn't work out that way. But when they played, like, what is their record together? It's still college, but like, still. And then like,
let me ask you this: you already have Ty Harris, who is supposed to be coming back from injury. You already have Isaiah James. I'm
gonna pause you right there. Supposed to be coming back from injury. I'm gonna pause you right there.
No. But what I'm saying is, if you already have a core of guards that were supposed to, to me, just adding another guard, what are you going to do with the guards you just picked up last season that were playing really well? Because that trio had some chemistry and was doing some things well. And then you were supposed to bring
games, ultimately 9 or 10 games, ultimately.
Yeah, I'm not going to not pick. If it is my pick, the guards on this roster aren't stopping that. Like
also JJ Quinterly coming off of injury as well. Isaiah James definitely played well to begin the season. Definitely tailed off toward the end. And then also like they're just not the number one pick. They're just not.
I know, I get it. I guess that goes back to my original point. We need to look critically at because what did you do that for then? If you wanted Azzi,
well, you didn't know. Right, you didn't know that you were going to get the number one pick.
I disagree with that as well, but that's more of
you had the best odds. You had the best odds for sure. But like last year, the team with the best odds did not win the number one overall pick. The Sparks did not, and they were like 20 percentage points ahead of the Dallas Wings.
And that's why I'm like,
open the third eye. We got a super chat here from Joe. Another player here. Lou is still on the roster. This is true.
We got Izzy Fudd coming, but what about Lou Lopez?
Thank you.
But so that's my thing, because like that 2020 draft when Ty Harris was selected, like this her second stint with the Wings. They picked her up, didn't really utilize her, bring her back, and I'm kind of like, so what was the point of all of this? If you went and got more guards, I understand that she got hurt, et cetera, but like when I asked that question about like what's the plan here, that was during the Ty Harris draft, so that's where I'm kind of like, he gets like a nice haul, but I'm just like, what is the long-term goal with this haul, because if you have that, you have Azzi and Paige, you still have an Enrique problem. So
or do you make her available in the expansion?
But no, okay, no, and I'm with you, but that's what I'm saying. Like Greg Bibb has like nobody, including Enrique, because I remember.
And also Enrique, like you can make her available, and she's a free agent anyway.
No, and that's fine, but like nobody has really like committed like this is our franchise player of the future, or like this is my team. Because I remember a couple of years ago, Enrique had this weird comment like, "Yeah, I'm here." So, ride it out. So it's like, is she even what's her thought process? And what is the team's thought process with her? Because if you're still invested in her and making it work with her, you have a problem now. And if you're not, then like
I've also seen 3 guards in this league in a rotation win championships. I've seen it.
Do you think that's with Enrique? Like, no, like
I'm just saying, like, I've seen that work too, right? I've seen that path work too.
Think a high volume shooter that has not really like
would you have to be as high volume now, or are you generating more possessions because you guys can?
Are you telling Enrique? Do you think Enrique is taking less shots?
I think Enrique is a player who, like, winning is still like her in her DNA, right? Like,
yes, but it's not in her habits.
It's not in her habits. Okay, then part way. Like either way, I just think Dallas is in a really good situation. What they do from here on out will be incredibly telling. I do think that there's ways to like fuck this up, but I also think that they have opportunities to do the right thing, and it could be a series of decisions.
Right, and I feel like if I knew more about their coach, like if I felt more comfortable about like I can point to what's going on, like Smesko, right? I was like, yeah, he likes to play with pace. He likes to shoot some threes and da-da-da-da. So when I see the Atlanta Dream roster, I'm like, yeah, I got some questions based on what I know about him. And then the questions were very quickly answered. With this, I'm kind of like, everyone's yelling at me.
Are predisposed to hate on the Dallas Wings. So like,
no. That's absolutely true.
Oh my God.
But I'm saying the hate is not rooted in like, I just don't like them. Like they just get under my skin.
Not rooted in, but that's like sprinkled on top there.
That's Salt Bay. It's not like the foundational piece of it. The steak and potatoes of it is, I've watched them fumble everything the last few years. So that's where I'm like, what is actually the plan here? Because like, if I felt comfortable about what they're doing, then I'd have to switch to hate. Like, okay, Paige, you got everything you need. Everything is happening. That's where my hate would look at. But now I don't even feel comfortable to hate on Paige yet, because I don't feel like they're in a good position, but I still feel like there is a wrong answer. So I need to know how to temper my Paige hate by like understanding what the game plan
We're trying to keep it ethical. I understand.
Yeah, that's what
I can respect it. No, I mean, to me, like if I'm Dallas, and this is something I've been pretty strict on, I guess, if you will, is like the different timelines of rebuilds. If I'm going with Azzi, I don't want Enrique on this roster. Like I understand, like there is precedent for that, but I don't like you. I think you got to move forward with like I don't. That's not how I want to start this. If it's our fam or Lauren Betts, then we could keep Enrique and we can see it's still a shift though, and like I want to see that active shift. Me personally, I would just move forward. Frankly, you have 2 number 1 picks now. Like there's not an inherent. I don't want to say not a need for Enrique like on this roster, but like you can enter into a new era here so cleanly. And like I don't know what the Enrique contract is going to be worth. Like when you go, obviously we don't know anything with the CBA or anything like that. But you have your perfect opportunity to enter into a new era, and it doesn't have to be hard feelings. It doesn't have to be doesn't have to be messy. Nothing like that. To me, this is the moment you enter into a new era, and I think if you do it with Azzi as your number 1 pick, you absolutely have to let Enrique walk. If it's with Fam or Lauren Betts and you draft a big, I wouldn't like it, but I can understand why you would be willing to keep Enrique on the roster in order to do that. But again, that's when it becomes very contract dependent. What is the cap? What is the year? I think that's a whole different conversation. That's a whole hypothetical. Yeah, I look, I'm excited. I'm ready for more Dallas basketball. I will be there no matter what. I don't care if it's AZ or our fam. I will be there no matter what.
Keep practicing that Spanish.
Man,
Keep practicing. You might.
Come on now, that Duolingo about to go crazy. But no, to kind of move on just a little bit, and if we have any super chats about Dallas, feel free, and we're happy to get back to it. The Minnesota Lynx just got the number 2 pick, y'all. So keep in mind as we're talking about these two players, whoever Dallas doesn't pick is going. I mean, presumably going to the Minnesota Lynx. And what's so great, and like I think this partially speaks to like how good Fee is. There's not out of these 3, we're talking about fit and trying to figure stuff out and yada yada. You can pick any of them, and it'll work around Afisa Collier because he's that type of player. Go ahead, Shawnee.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like Minnesota is in a no-lose situation because one, competent franchise, that's really important, believe it or not. But like 2, they desperately need a big. So if like Dallas gets our fam, get Lauren Betts. If they get Lauren Betts, get our fam. And like I feel like Cheryl would eat with
either of them.
Hey.
I'd be very confident in either of them going to Minnesota. But I think AZ fits really well too.
No, like, and that's what I'm saying. Like stud buds.
Yeah,
we thank you for your service.
Yeah,
but like
the floor spacing of AZ plus the defense now that we're seeing
exactly
like it's. I could be swayed even though the story about Minnesota has been the size for the longest. I wouldn't be mad at that pick either, just from a pure just like on paper fit right now what we're thinking of their roster. I would not be mad at that pick either, even though you have the story of the size that has existed for so long.
But you also understand that like that was an issue and Cheryl worked around it. Cheryl, like we understand that Cheryl is the challenge GOAT. So no matter what, like she's gonna get 2 of them extra timeouts and it's gonna work out. But like that's what I'm saying. You have confidence in the front office, confidence in the coaching staff. I don't feel like Minnesota can lose in this regard.
I don't feel like they can either. However, I do want to point out that the last 2 first rounders that Minnesota picked are not even on their team anymore. Neither of them, and Diamond Miller and Alyssa Peely. So like they lucked into this. Certainly, obviously, this is like comes from the Angel Reese trade. This is where that
it was the
right? Yeah. So like lately, their evaluation of like prospects has been
and I don't know about that because I feel like they weren't in like dire straits with the draft. Right, so it's like they were still building, and then it's like,
but like, could they have used Angel Reese last year?
No, 100%, 100%.
Okay,
they've always drafted pretty well at the top, which is, I mean, obviously, like where we're finding them again. You know, not that it's been very difficult in some of those drafts. You know, oh, do we draft Maya Moore? Like you know, like, but like even if you like look at where Fee was drafted, like Fee fell.
Wasn't she like 7?
6.
He fell. 6, you know, like so, like, but like that's kind of what I'm getting at is like if you're in that top half of the first of the first round, again, there's obviously been a lot of drafts where it's pretty cut dry, but I feel more confident in that, but I absolutely hear you on that, Greer, in the sense of like I don't want them to like reach either, like don't like you might need a point guard potentially, right? That doesn't mean you go reach for like an Olivia Miles or maybe a Flaugier, like that. That's more of what I am nervous about. Like if I was to have nerves about it, but I don't think if it's any of that top 3, which again, that the order of that's going to be very, very intriguing. This is
another
fun.
team
We have no idea.
Who could be bit by the expansion draft bug, right?
Sure.
Like all season long, we talked about how with these new teams coming into, like if they want to poach your second best player and offer them a max contract, right? Like Kayla McBride, that could mean you, right? That could mean that likely means Kayla McBride, but like opening up a spot for you know what I mean? Like it's just so much of it is in flux. And also like if you're Cheryl, like are you just a brutal honesty about like where you are right now? The last 2 years you've overachieved.
Sure.
Straight up with the roster that you have overachieved. They didn't make it to the finals this year. There is no like running it back. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like you're not good enough right now. The roster that you have is not good enough.
And
Well,
I think
if
the expansion
anybody
draft will help with that,
is
too.
willing to be brutally honest,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
So-
I think the expansion draft will help with maybe the business side of like the relationships aspect of it, where it's just like, look, man, we can only protect 5 players. Like this is what it is, you know. And so like there's going to be across the league natural rebuilds in a whole lot of ways. Frankly, one of the only teams that can really kind of get away with it is Vegas, because they didn't use much of their bench anyways. So like you're not as worried about it, you know. Like but yeah, Minnesota is I think the pressure's on Dallas, you know, to make the quote unquote right pick, even though I think these top 3 players are all going to be successful. You don't want to be the team that messed it up and picked the worst of the 3, you know, like that, like because the heights and the ceilings of these players, if you're the one that passes on the player that goes and reaches the ceiling that has the potential of reaching with these 3, you're gonna feel real stupid, and especially when like you can make the case for just about on any of these teams in the top 3 to land any of these players, you know. So I mean I don't know. There hasn't been many times in the WNBA draft, I feel like, where it's this potential of like shuffle amongst the top 3. And we'll obviously we have a lot of time to kind of see how stuff kind of shakes out. Because I mean, Azzi continues to play well. Lauren Betts is going to have plenty of opportunities against really good opponents to stand out. Like that's we're gonna have time, and I think we're gonna learn more about Awa Fangreer. You mentioned it, like the potential of playing against Team USA and things like that. Like we're gonna have moments to see, you know, where we're gonna have like real kind of benchmark moments for these players. So we'll see how it shakes out. But right now, I genuinely think there's a case to make for all 3 of these in different ways and different amounts. Guru, I'm gonna toss it over to you because number 3.
Seattle Storm.
Can imagine we talk about all these 3 players. By the way, you're gonna go play with Dominique Malonga for the rest of your career.
They're also like whatever the fallout is, either one of these 3, they all work.
Mm-hmm.
They all work. You're either saying, you know, young Twin Towers with Dom and Betts or Awa, or you're saying 1-2 guard punch with Azzi and Dom. Like all 3 basketball situations make sense.
Yeah. So you're telling NECA to continue learning Arabic and be...
NECA's going to be 36, I believe, in the next WNBA season.
Yeah.
She already, when it comes to like games where there's less than a day or 2, like 2 days of rest in between, like the numbers already fall off.
NECA is not factoring into my pick here, frankly. She's just not. It might factor into the, you know, like the rotations of year 1, but I'm not factoring that into my pick at all. Like I think you have 3 players here at the top that like you just pick. Yeah, especially for Seattle. Like whichever of the 3 is left, you take and you keep it pushing.
I'm just concerned about vets, you know, being told either
go play in Project B, you're good.
That's what I'm saying. Like there still is like a respective, you know, that's the union president. So for her to like, would Seattle do it? Would they bench her? Who's the new coach?
I think that NECA's mature enough maybe to not even view it that way. Like,
I would hope so.
Yeah.
Because like now is the new
but wouldn't that be a shake up in like year 15 to be like, hold up.
I don't want an MVP. I don't want titles. I'm the union president. I run this like I did the CBA. The only reason y'all playing is because of me. Like, that would be funny. I'd watch. So that's, you know, just, you know, if you got a Enrique problem in Dallas, you would have a NECA problem. Not to
NECA problem sounds those sound like
again, those feel real different.
No, words that have never even been put in the same sentence before. People are saying
it's not apples to apples, but it is still like what's, you know, is she gonna tell NECA to sit on the bench?
Maybe. Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Like that's again, like I don't know. I don't
know. Like, you know, but see, I get where y'all are coming from. It's just like this is what makes sense. Like, duh. But like we've seen, people don't always have the hard
and maybe not like,
or do what makes sense.
Mean, look, if it's like Lauren Betts, 6'7", 6'6". Jeez. Yeah. That's frightening.
Yeah.
But if you tell me that even Alba, right? Like Dom obviously didn't even start getting regular minutes until the second half of the season.
And that was a huge problem.
Yeah, I would assume that Ramen is going to be like much more intentional about bringing along whoever it is. But even if you tell me like Alba Fam or Lauren Betts, for instance, is still like coming off the bench to start, I would believe that.
Yeah.
I was still going to be like 19 or 20. Like,
no,
especially if it's Alba, which I don't think it's going to be. I don't think we're going to see a 3, but yeah.
Yeah.
Forgive me for being contrarian, because I promise you it's not for the sake of. I think because of Malonga, that's why I don't want to see them come off the bench. Because like we saw, she goes toe to toe with Asia Wilson, right? So I'm like, imagine if she had been able to get the
on the losing end of said toe to toe, like, and on her ass some of it too.
So, but this is again without having like regular reps throughout the season. So that's what I'm saying. Like, she still made a huge adjustment late in the game, and it's like, imagine if she had those reps early in the season and was able to get her footings and didn't get baptized in the first round of the playoffs.
With people who are they're calling the GOAT. Like that's where I just like kind of
no. I'm saying like, imagine
like
if
she still was going against the best player in the world.
Right, but there's a difference between getting baptized in that way and like, okay, I actually have some experience starting and was able to get my footing. So now I'm presented with this very grand challenge. Because like I said, she still bounced back. So I'm not saying like she should have been Aaliyah Bostoning it, but like we could have seen more of that throughout the season and seen her get comfortable early. And then maybe it gets different that she doesn't have that like huge discrepancy, as big a discrepancy that first time out that we did. That's all I'm saying.
Maybe. I don't know. I also obviously follow the Storm closely, and like there were many nights where they just talked about like she wasn't ready to play. You know what I mean? Wasn't ready to play at the level of, especially early on in the season. So like I talent is one thing, but like readiness to play night in, night out is also like a different beast.
No, I understand what you're saying. It's
even Alba, like when I think about her playing, what is it, Tyler, 17 to 22 minutes over in EuroLeague right now, like coming in and saying that you're going to be playing and we can all acknowledge that the WNBA is the very best league in the world, to say that you're ready to go against grown women 34 minutes, and I don't know.
But I just feel like Malonga was told in the playoffs, like, all right, now we're ready for you to go, on a regular basis. And I'm like, I just would have liked to see it earlier in the season. So I would like to see them be able to get their footing earlier in the season too.
Yeah, which I think it's fair, because especially to the degree that Dom was not getting minutes, like was
exactly
insane. Yeah, early on. But let me pose this question. I've seen a little bit in the chat. Let's say in any order, sure. Let's say in any order, whatever it is. Like Awa and Azzi are 1 and 2, whatever it is. So Lauren Betts is the last of the 3.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any chance Seattle takes Olivia Miles instead? Kind of need a point guard.
At number 4?
At number 3.
Oh, at number
Seattle
3?
at 3.
So wait, hold on. You said it's like
it would be, so if our fam and Azzi Fudd are off the board, so you like Betts is the last of the 3, and presumably like that's when you kind of like you have like your next tier, if you will. Okay. Is there any chance that you think, because as we kind of pivot into our next team as well, is kind of what I'm getting at with this, is like Olivia Miles would kind of probably be in that next tier. It's like Olivia Miles, Flau'jae Johnson, like those type of players, Sanaya Latson potentially, like just to throw the name out in just any of those 3. Do you see going over Betts at to Seattle at 3?
If you have a NECA problem, yeah. Like if NECA's like, I still want to be a centerpiece, the dynasty is not starting after me, I will not allow it. I personally would take Flau'jae. I think, that Flau'jae and Skylar would be fun.
That would be fun. That would be fun. Greer, where you think? You think it's just straight to the bigs, or do we think guards are going to be in play here?
I know. I think guards could definitely be in play here.
People are watching football in my house. Sorry, y'all.
I just have they might come in and give me the report that the Cowboys are coming back against the Eagles. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Don't worry. Just here to do the show.
We play at 5:20, so and it's against the Bucks. But Seattle, would they take a guard over Betts? I think they would. I think they would explore it.
Mhm.
You know, already having Dom, right? You also like when you think about spacing, right? She showed some ability to like space the floor too, right?
Mhm.
As a player, and just the way that today's game is going, I feel like we still have there's still a lot to be explored about like what style Ramen's going to be like deploying in
Sure.
Seattle. But if you told me it was a more untraditional, no too big thing,
I can see it. And we also have the Azzi Magwigor of all this that we haven't even touched on. We don't know what's going to happen with Azzi as well. So I mean, we could be looking at a roster that is just like massive, frankly. Like there's like a not, and like you kind of have the flexibility with these players to do it. Like with depending on who you go and get. So I'm not opposed to that like initially. But there will be a lot of figuring out one way or another. So we have Washington at 4, Chicago at 5, and this is kind of when we get into presumably that other tier of players. Washington and I think Chicago very clearly needs guards. So they're going to take a guard of some sort, whether it's Olivia Miles, whether it's Flauge, if it's Sanaya Latson, like that. They're going to take a guard. I don't think there's much question about that. Washington, I don't really know exactly what Washington goes. Obviously, like because in the hypothetical where Seattle takes a guard and like a Lauren Betts is still there, like you can move Kiki to the 4, but also like you have Georgia Amore who didn't play last year, who was one of your high draft picks in last year's draft. So like you can go guard again, but like to me, like off initial reaction, my thought goes to Flauge just because she could be a little bit more of a combo, whereas like Sanaya Latson, a little bit smaller. Olivia Miles is a point guard through and through. So like it depends, I think, on where they stand on Georgia Amore and like how confident they are in her.
Before we started rolling, didn't you say that Washington also has another first rounder?
So Washington has number 4, number 9, and number 11.
Like I don't know. It would be crazy to see like a package. It would, it's unusual for the WNBA, but like let's get weird.
I think a name that I want to throw out to watch for Washington is, and it's almost kind of similar to Sonia, but Gianna Neepkins feels like a name that would work really well there. Again, it's kind of not. I think it's similar, but not redundant to what Sonia can do in terms of the defense, in terms of being able to space the floor, handle the ball. Like to me, that's more of what this team needs than like some of the guards that would be available there. Like an Azzi would be phenomenal there, but like I don't think she's going to be there at 4, like that. So I'm trying to think of like who could kind of be like a similar thing to Azzi as opposed to, again, they could use a point guard if they. I think it just depends on where they're at with Amore, or if they like are cool drafting like an Olivia Miles and say, hey, let's compete.
I also recall their GM saying something to the effect of like they're not in a rush to get to compete and be in the playoffs. So I think they're okay with taking somebody who it might take a little bit more time to like prove what they are or like gel with the existing core. They're on the Juju and Sarah clock. Right?
Hey, game is game. I can't even be mad.
Because I was gonna say I will throw out a name as well, Elena Deladon. Rise from the dead, and we're gonna get you that Kathy call, big dog. You deserve a retirement tour.
That's great.
With the puppies and let's rock. Elaine, EDD and the kids, man. I'd watch.
Her mentor in Kiki would have been like a really cool
storyline.
But it's not gonna happen. It's that
bench, fam.
That is not happening.
Bring your giant dog and do some carpentry on the side.
Yeah, Washington is, like you said, I mean, like it's they're suffering from success, truly. Like, I mean, like it's all working way more, it's just way faster and more successful than I think anyone could have imagined. Like with all respect to the players they drafted, because they were players we were all high on. They're all like Sonia, friend of no cat space, Kiki, friend of no cat. Like we've had these players on, like we know how good these players are, and yet they still went above and beyond expectations in their rookie year. So let me ask this. What do we like the idea of the potential of Lauren Betts if she was to slide to 4 and moving Kiki more to the 4 here as a power forward? What do we think about that? Works for me, right? Works
for me. I mean, Kiki's one of the best athletes in the game, period. Even as
I would put her at a 4. like ideally. So
that's they just don't really have the facilities for that.
Yeah.
Lauren Betts, that brings you 6'7" worth of facilities to come in and help move her to the 4 there. Like, so I think if it's not if Lauren Betts might be like the top pick probably there for me, like in turn, because I love the idea of Kiki at the 4. I think it's a lot more natural for her. But I'm not mad at Flau'jae or Gianna Neepkins there either. If you feel good at where you're at with your point guard position, I certainly think Olivia Miles would be a player in contention there. Again, Tania Latson. Again, we're kind of like that next tier after the bottom or the top 3 is all pretty stacked together. I feel like and Chicago is there. The only team that couldn't get a player to show up. I feel like I keep seeing people talk about like Flau'jae to Chicago. Like that would be funny.
Hilarious.
That would be
why
would it be funny or just certain
not for basketball reasons, truly.
Well, no, but like I guess I've already in my head like Angel going to Phoenix, so it wouldn't even really.
Well, that's a whole different thing. If we're the potential of
like she's not there. I know the dust has kind of settled a bit, but like I do not see her staying.
Let me ask y'all this. Dallas at 1 now has the artillery to make the trade for Angel Reese. Is that something we could see happening?
Ooh, Kurt, not unless you want to lose your job.
Is that something we could see happening? 505? Someone's changing numbers.
And that's another from a marketing Russell Westbrook doesn't really care about all of that, or like he doesn't at least. No, like remember when Russ? No, because like Russ has gone.
Sure.
The next person.
But like he's changed numbers, right? Like this from a marketing standpoint, like Angel cares a lot about her brand, so like changing numbers would be a big deal for her. Like even at in this third year coming up, like I know it sounds like small, but like to me, I'm kind of like she a businesswoman, like. That's a business decision, and it might factor in. So I don't know.
Not a current number 5 on the Phoenix Mercury, too, for what it's worth.
Yeah, but would Paige be an ally and give up her number to make it work? Would she allow a black woman to shine in her natural number? I don't know. We gotta
find out next time on Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah,
I don't know.
But I don't. Is she cool with Paige, or does she want to play with Paige? Because there's a difference, you know what I'm saying? Like, Phoenix has been doing a full court press this whole time. Like, they done posted her on their page more. They've told her story more than they've told their, like, 26-year-old rookie story. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't see it. I know, like, it makes sense if they were to. They do have the capital to get her, but at this point, like Phoenix might pull a gun. I don't know. Move back up.
I see here in the YouTube chat because we have Kurt Miller is currently doing a press conference as we speak, and there are 6 prospects that have really separated. Kurt Miller said he's already received more calls about the potential trades for the number 1 pick in the upcoming draft versus 2025. Well, I'm not surprised by that because you weren't passing up on Paige. But 6 prospects is separated in what way? Like separate. Like I again, I'd be pretty shocked if it's not Awafam or Azzi Fudd. Like just to put it frank, and after that, I think it's very clearly Lauren Betts as the next, and then you have everyone else, in whatever order from there. I would be shocked if it's not one of those 2. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of love the idea of like, again, you can't really go wrong. I mean, even if you put trading for Angel on the table, like you can rock with that.
And then when I think about Washington and like their youth movement too, like. They want to be back in the lottery next year, the year after that. Like, would they get off before? Who got something for me? You know what I mean? Like, who wants it? Because again, you're talking about still potentially drafting a Lauren Betts, a Flau'jae, right?
No, you're getting good players. Like generally, like you have like your expansion teams at 6 and 7, like Golden State's at 8. I mean, like you look at this. I mean, you're at 8 and 9. You're still getting Tania Latson, Gianna Neepkins. I mean, like you have genuine contributing players like that can be. I mean, we've seen even in this past draft. I mean, Sniper Rivers is one of the best rookies in the entire league. She was at what, 9? You know, like and I think there's an argument. Like I think that maybe the top with Paige was potentially better than this draft, but you can easily make the argument for me that this is a deeper draft, especially like in the first round. Especially again, it might not be like the star power names in the same way of Paige and whatnot, but you can get some genuine value out of this first round. So like that's where it's like Washington's going to be, if they keep all these picks, and obviously we know what it comes with, you know, the draft picks and making rosters and whatnot in the W. But like if you have 3 rookies in the first round last year, you have 3 rookies in the first round this year. Like it's a youth movement, and it's well, obviously they cooked last year, so I'm willing to kind of hear out whatever strategy they're willing to take.
And I'm willing to help. I'm going to open the trade machine because I feel like
no.
It helps them with their timeline.
No.
One of those first round picks for Kirsten Bell. You still get to be in the Juju contention. You still get to be in Juju contention. It doesn't alter that.
I need that. I need like your browser to like physically lock you into the trade machine.
I'm gonna do it. I'm like with the first round pick. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. Lloyd for 2 first round picks.
We
can still get Juju.
We got quotes.
So okay, this is a similar quote. I'm gonna share this directly. Let me turn off that. Okay. Didn't mention most of them by name. It's the same, like the 6 prospects, a quote here. Can assume to be made up of Lauren Betts, Alafam, Azzi Fudd, Flower J. Johnson, Tanaya Latson, and Olivia Miles. So, I mean, pretty much what we had. We're on the right track here. I mean, not that I expect like Gianna Neepkins to go up to like number 1, but like that, I feel like Neepkins is probably the player that like I feel could rise up into that and potentially be drafted over some of those names. But again, I mean, that's pretty much what we anticipated from the top 6 or so. And again, the fact that we can add more names to that list of like legit, hey, you could be a lottery pick shows the depth of this draft and what that could be. Our hearts and minds clear, family?
Open for a season.
Yeah, right. Okay, because they asked the WNBA representative, Malika Andrews, was like, "Hey, are y'all gonna make this?" And she said, "We're working really hard." He said, "Okay, but like the deadline's coming up. Are y'all gonna get this done?" "We're working really hard." "Okay, but like, what is your confidence level in getting this done by the deadline?" "We're working really hard." "All right, thank you for your time. Let's get to the draft lottery." That was the interview. So
7 days, right?
Not great.
The end of this month, right?
7 whole days.
Yeah. End of this month. End of
Kathy.
this month. So yeah, I think the biggest lottery we're playing right now is, will we have a season? And I hope that we are the Dallas Wings of that lottery and that we win, because I would like to see these players play.
Because you can catch me on our main account with the trade machine open.
No. I'm changing the passwords. I am changing the passwords. You will not have access to the trade machine on main. You got booed out of the building last time. By me included.
Once again, I was
actively booing you as well.
Presenting new ideas.
Yeah, no, not every idea is a good one. And specifically your trade machine is
stifling a black woman's creativity. This is madness.
Okay.
Let's take it out of here.
Okay.
It's getting oppressive.
I would change my number for you to join the team, Shawnee.
Yeah, it's like you changed the password. This is
You're goddamn right. I'm saving everyone from Shawnee on the trade machine. Thank y'all for joining us here on the No Cap Space post-draft show. This is not a post-game. This week, I will have boots on the ground. I am flying to Las Vegas because we have some big-time games. We're going to have some of these players that we're talking about here in action. We have Duke versus South Carolina. We have UCLA versus Texas. Winners play winners, losers play losers. That's on Wednesday and Thursday of this coming week. So if you need to get away from your family and everything on Thanksgiving, it could be a lot, you know. Or if you're just flying through that coma and need some quality entertainment, we'll have boots on the ground. So we will be there for some big time matchups. I'll have that here on the YouTube post game shows, press conferences. think it, you name it, all on the social medias. So make sure you're tapped in all across the border coast. No cap space. WB.com to find all of our print and podcast content. Social medias, you can stay tapped in. Our friends at Home Field get the best merch in the game. Use code NOCAT15 on your first purchase. And we have 5 out coming from you, right, Shawnee? Tomorrow? Okay, so go subscribe. NoCatSpaceWBB.com. You can get Shawnee's 5 out tomorrow. The best column in the game. We're playing. We got emergency substitute, and it's still the best column in the game. So make sure
I've been in the bullpen.
Yeah, come on now. We got the substitute arm in. Until next time, everyone, we'll talk to you very, very soon.